In this section, you're answering the question, what happens to Laocoon and his sons? And he flung the spear he carried at the horse's rounded belly. As it struck, there came a growling and a ringing from the hollow space within the timbers. And maybe the Trojans would have felt the danger and aided him to hack the thing open then and there. But at that same instant, a knot of warriors came toward them, dragging Sinon in their midst. They flung him at Priam's feet. "We found this hiding among the reeds," one of them said. "If we put fire to the soles of his feet, maybe he'll tell us the secret of this wooden monster." But Sinon let out a howl. "Was there ever more miserable than I? First my own people, and now the Trojans both hate me to the death." "Tell us how you learned the hatred of your own people, and how you may come to be here when they are gone, and maybe we will cease to hate you," said the old king, and signed to his men to let the captive up. "I'll tell you what you asked, Lord King," said Sinon, drawing a deep breath to begin his story. "I was friend and armor-bearer to the chieftain Palamedes, whom the wicked Odysseus slew in secret for the hatred that he bore him. I was filled with wrath and had not the wisdom to hide it. I talked wildly, and my talk came to Odysseus' ears, so that he thought to slay me also. Then Calchas the soothsayer," he broke off. "What use to tell the story? You'll not believe it. Slay me then, is what Agamemnon and Odysseus desire. Menelaus will thank you for my head." That made the Trojans yet more curious, and Priam bade him go on. So he told them, weeping and shuddering, that the Greeks had consulted an oracle as to their homeward voyage, and the oracle had bidden them to sacrifice one of their number to gain fair winds and calm seas. They'd asked Calchas to choose a sacrifice, and Calchas had chosen him, Sinon. So he had been bound and held fast while the great horse, which was their peace offering to Athena, was built, and he would have been dead by now if he had not managed to escape and hide among the reeds until the ships had sailed. Sinon told his tale so well that the Trojans believed him and unbound his hands, rejoicing that the great horse threatened no harm to them, but was a peace offering to Athena for the theft of the Palladium. But they had scarcely done so when a terrible thing happened. 2 great sea serpents appeared, heading out of the morning mist toward the shore, their crimson-crested heads upreared, their bodies snake-coiling through the water, lashing up the shallows and leaving behind them a wake such as follows a 30-oar galley. And before anyone could believe what they saw, let alone turn to run from the peril, they were plunging ashore, sea flame flickering in their eyes, and the forked tongues between their gaping jaws hissing and whiplashing to and fro. They flew upon the 2 young sons of Laocoon, flinging their coils about them, and even as their father rushed to the rescue, it was too late. From the boys' mangled bodies, they turned upon him. Before the horror-eyed Trojans could so much as throw a spear, they flung their coils about him, tightening themselves about his throat and body, so that after one dreadful shriek that seemed to tear the skies apart, he could make no sound at all as the life was crushed out of him. Then the serpents shook loose their coils and were gone, swifter than any flying spear could follow, across the plain and into the city. The priestesses in the temple of Athena saw them come, and saw them go across the marble pavement to disappear behind the shield of the goddess's great statue, and into some unknown lair behind her feet. All right, so your question for that section is, what happened to Laocoon and his sons?